been discovered. Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed. A body. Now
Oh my god. 2 body discovery announcements in a row. That means... How did Hyoko get here? What? The hanged body. The handbag on its head. Hyoko's suspended body. Both these bodies have been discovered at the same time. What is this? What? Hyoko and... Who the hell is the other one wearing the handbag?
Could it be?
2 victims. But when I was in here earlier, I didn't see Hyoko's body. I only saw the hanged body over there. Not even 10 minutes passed, but still, why? What is this? Impossible, 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 impossible. It's impossible for killings to happen on this island.
Shut the hell up!
Shut up, idiot.
This is just...
For now, we should lower that person wearing the handbag to the ground. Leaving it like that, it's just too sad.
Yes!
Oh, what about preserving the scene of the crime? Who fucking cares about that? There's a control panel for the baton lighting on the wing of the stage. You can lower the body with that. That one. Suika ran over him to the wing of the stage and pressed the button on the control panel. I already know it's Ibuki. With a motorized sound like the growl of starving beasts, baton's lightning slowly descended. When it descended enough for us to reach it, we all worked together and lowered the body. No, I'm going to take off the handbag, okay? Ugh, even as I expected it, I still didn't want to confront reality. Under the handbag, there was no denying that the face I saw belonged to Ibuki.
Damn it!
It's all my fault. If only I did better, just watching over Ibuki. You're wrong. It's not your fault, Mikan. No matter how we feel, the one at fault is.
What's the matter?
Jeez, it feels like someone died in here or something. So, you finally showed up, the root of evil.
What the heck?
How dare you call your big brother the root of evil? I even went to the trouble of bringing everyone for you. Bringing everyone?
Ah! Are you kidding me?
What the hell is going on here?
That is impossible.
This is the second time for a double murder. What the heck? Ibuki and Hyoko?
What?
So 2 people have been killed. Oh, there, that's not all. I've also summoned the others who were at the hospital. The others?
This is troubling.
Looks like another serious incident occurred while I was unaware.
Damn it!
Can't believe they did such a horrible thing. Nagito, Akane, are you okay?
Huh?
Huh? Of course. What do you mean, of course?
No way!
Are you talking about the despair disease? Jeez. You guys, that stuff is totally over now. Over? Yeah, 'cause I got bored. For that silly reason? And now the killing has started. There's no need to keep that motive around anymore. Yeah, that despair disease is gone now, so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
What'd you say?
What the heck? That's impossible. How can you spread a disease and cure it so easily? Ah, who cares about that itty bitty details? What matters is that it's already been cured. So let's go back to our main topic and proceed as usual.
The Monokuma file!
See ya later!
Boo-hoo-hoo, I'll be waiting at the class trial. Do your best to investigate.
This cannot be.
Again, we have to do this again? We have no choice. Like last time, if it means one of us killed these 2, then we cannot let this be. Why do we have to do this? Thinking like that won't do anything. We have to do this. If we don't do anything, we'll all be executed.
What do you yearn for?
Abandon your overdependence and complaints this instant. Those have no place in this world. But what about Nekomaru? What's going to happen to him? Is he not going to participate this time? Is that even allowed? Nekomaru. Huh?
That's weird.
That's strange. I'm crying. What happened to me? Looks like lingering after effects of the despair disease. There's nothing for you to worry about.
Hey.
Are you okay?
Yep.
Fortunately, it seems like I have nothing to worry about.
This is bad.
Since you had the liar disease, your after effects could be lies, maybe.
Leave it to me.
Please leave Nakamaro to me. Everyone must focus on investigating, so I'll do my very best. I will definitely bring back Nakamaro with everyone's trust. It seems we should leave Nakamaro to Monomi. What about guarding this area? Do we still need it?
Damn it.
I'll stay. I still don't feel very good yet. It's better if I stay here too, right? I should perform the autopsy again, right?
Damn right.
Then I'll leave that to you. Then let's get started so we can end this nightmare for good. That's right, we need to end this. We need to finish this once and for all. Well, there's no way we can believe that one of us did this. For those two's sake, we need to find the truth, and then we need to end this nightmare once and for all. A double murder. Huh. Like, I've been putting up with this for a while.
Hey!
Why is it so damn hot in here? I hate being hot. It's because your clothes are so smothering. I seriously can't stand it. I'll let you guys investigate this place. So Kazuichi left the music venue under a cloud of grumbling complaints. But it really is hot. In fact, it's sweltering hot. Why is it this hot? Now, before that, I need to check the Monokuma file first. There are 2 victims this time, Ibuku Miyoda and Hyoko Sayonji. Ibuku Miyoda's cause of death was a crushed windpipe as the result of choking. There are no other external injuries. Hyonji Sayonja's cause of death was blood loss due to her throat being slit by a sharp-edged tool. Appears her death was instant. What the? This is it? I already knew the cause of death from the beginning, so this isn't going to be a useful clue. It's strange. Why did the killer kill 2 people? Huh. I mean, the more people you've killed, the more clues you'll leave, right? So I don't think it's really necessary to kill 2 people and take that kind of risk. I agree with that. Or was there a reason they had to kill 2 people? A reason for killing 2 people? Maybe Hyoko saw them. Regardless, something like this shouldn't be forgiven,
I'll
so
definitely find out.
I will definitely find the truth behind this case. That's what I think. Seriously, I prefer if she had a more confident sounding catchphrase. Alright. Broken machine. Alright. Shattered remains of a machine are spread all over the floor.
I see.
This appears to be the surveillance camera unit.
This, too, must be the will of causality.
Kazuichi put it in the music venue for communication purposes. Why is it destroyed like this? Perhaps criminal psychology is at play here. What do you mean?
Well,
And if they know they are not being recorded, there is no way the killer would tolerate committing a murder in front of a camera. So that's why they destroyed the camera. Seems plausible enough. They hesitate to murder someone in front of a camera, and that's why the killer destroyed this? Then what was the thing I saw? Right. Alright. Okay. Let's talk to someone, I guess, for now. Let's start this way. Then I'll look at more stuff and talk to a couple more people. It has happened once again. 2 of my cherished friends died at the same time. I cannot believe it.
how cruel.
This is the place where Ibuki sang for Fuyuhiko. Hyoko looked like she was having so much fun listening to her music. And now those 2 are no longer here. Such a tragedy. I understand how you feel, but please get a hold of yourself. 2 of our friends were killed. That's all more the reason why we can't just leave this alone, right?
So just as I thought.
We must do this for them. We must do this then, for the sake of the 2 who fallen. If only I knew this sooner, Ibuki might have been saved. Hey, when did you realize Ibuki was missing? After leaving Akito's room, I went to the Naokon room, and that's when it came to me that I should go check on what everyone in the hospital's doing one more time before I go to sleep. I went to the patient to patient rooms and noticed that Ibuki was gone. So quickly ran out of the hospital. So that's when it happened. Then I saw Hyoko in front of the hospital, so I asked him if he could help me look for Ibuki. Huh, that reminds me. Where were you? I thought you were in the resting lobby. That is a long story. I'm sorry. It's not like I doubt you or anything. There's no way I doubt you, because we've been together since this morning. You're right. We were together until you went to the on-call room. That's right. We were together until just a little before the morning Monokuma announced it. So, I don't doubt you. I'm telling the truth. Is it alright if I continue with my autopsy? If you talk to me again later, I'll tell you what I know. So, spare my life at least. What happened to not doubting me? Alright. Let's look at the stage. The stepladder is tipped over on its side. This must be the stepladder that Ibuki used in the video I saw. Ah, isn't that a blood stain? Look, there's blood around the left side of the stepladder. As I recall, Ibuki didn't have any external injuries. If that's the case, then it must be Hyoko's blood.
Yep.
It's the only thing I can think of. Oh, that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe Hyoko was trying to save her. And when she did that, the killer saw her, what she was trying to do, and then took her life as well. That's the only thing I can think of. A bloodstain that probably belongs to Hyoko is on the left side of the stepladder. What does that mean? So I assume she was attempting to save Ibuki, and she got caught in the act. That would be my own explanation. Alright. Oh, there's a lot of things. It's the rope that was tied to the baton lining on the ceiling. Ibuki hanged herself with this rope and died. From what I can tell, it looks like a regular length of rope, no unnatural features. But despite that, the fact this music venue has a storage room, there shouldn't have been any rope in there. Which means, was this obtained from the supermarket? Did the killer bring it in from here? It means anybody could have obtained this rope, and it means it'd be difficult to use this as a clue. I wonder if that's true. Huh? Oh, I just noticed a little something. Is it okay if I confirm it? Excuse me, Con. Do you have a moment?
What's happened?
There's something I wanted to ask you. There's no doubt Ibuki's cause of death was being hanged by this rope, right?
Yes, she had no other external injuries, so there's no doubt she died from hanging herself.
I see. So Ibuki died by hanging herself. That was obvious the moment we discovered the body. You might not have seen it, but we all saw that she hanged herself. You're right. Yep, got it. So this rope won't be much of a clue. Then I might as well search another place. Jeez, as usual, I have no idea what he's up to. Well, we actually didn't see her do it. She looked like she was going to do it, but it cut off after that. Okay. Hey, I'm still looking at stuff down here. Buki had a handbag on her head and was hanging from the ceiling. Wait, that's the one from the movie theater. But why did she have a handbag on her head? Wait, huh? I can't really remember that. The handbag. Upon further inspection, there's a Monokuma decal on the fabric. Looks like this isn't just a normal bag. Yeah, it came from the freaking movie theater, so someone bought it. Or took it. I don't know. Boogie's body lay atop stage. She's wearing the hospital gown she was wearing when she was sick. What's this on Ibukie's feet? It's blood. I didn't notice when she was hanging, but the soles of her feet are dirty. It's blood, right? There shouldn't be any external injuries on Ibuki if that's the case. This blood belongs to someone else. Blood on the Souls has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Damn right.
Hey, Hajime. Can I talk for your sec? You already discovered the body before you met up with us, right? Yeah, at first I didn't know who it was Ibuki because of the handbag, though. It's so obvious because of her hair. Her hair is so distinct. When I knew right away she was dead, since she was hanging from that rope.
Like,
Which means Ibuki must have died before Hyoko was tied up.
well,
That helps. There's no time and death written in the Monokuma file this time. So I wasn't really sure who died first. It's true, their estimated time of death wasn't written in the Monokuma file this time. But I should know when Ibuki died because I personally saw it. In that video, Ibuki was climbing the stepladder on her own, just right after that. Wait, hold on. Ibuki climbed that stepladder and died right after. Does that mean she committed suicide? No, that's impossible. Because even if Ibuki committed suicide, it doesn't explain Hyoko's death afterwards. 2 different deaths happened at the same time. There's no way that's a coincidence. Is there something? Curtain. It's a black curtain hanging from the far side of the stage. This curtain is not wide enough. It can't reach from one edge to the other of the stage to the other.
Huh?
It's not really a full-length curtain. This curtain was originally here. This curtain was originally here, right? If it was, it's strange that it doesn't fit properly. It was probably obtained from the furniture section of the supermarket. See the back of the curtain? The back of the curtain is taped for temporary use, just like the curtain at the supermarket. So you're saying someone took the time to actually bring that curtain from the supermarket?
So,
If they went that far, this is probably something that the killer really needed for this crime. I didn't need it. Who knows? Well, it wouldn't be a mystery if the answer came easily. Maybe they were hiding it behind it when that video was playing. Let's talk to Chiaki for a little bit. Her arms are crossed and a thoughtful look on her face. Chiaki... What? With her arms crossed and a thoughtful look on her face, Chiaki was slightly staring at the stage floor. Did something drop on the floor there? Nothing dropped. It's just dirty. Dirty.
hey.
See, take a close look at the floor.
See?
If you look closely... You're right, there's a smudge of as if something was wiped off. Wait, this isn't something. Is this a bloodstain?
Yep.
Well, a bloodstain isn't strange. Hyoko's deck was slashed not far from here. It looks old. Oh god. I haven't saved. My game froze. We'll just wait a second. Oh. Let's just do a save so fast. Just in case.
But still,
Hada, what strange is? Why did the killer try to hide it?
so...
If they weren't trying to hide it, they wouldn't have bothered wiping it off. The reason the killer wiped off the bloodstain. As long as the body is nearby, there's no way they'd be able to conceal the crime by wiping off the bloodstain. So what was the killer trying to hide? Maybe Hyoko fought back. Maybe it's the killer's blood. Or maybe they're trying to clean off their hand. Like they dragged their hand across it. I don't know. The candle. There's a massive candle pointed near the front of the stage. The dual light in the music video must have been coming from this music video. Is that what I said? Wait. In that video. I don't know why I said music video. A candle this huge might have been perfect for lighting, but they didn't need to bother using a candle. They could have just used normal stage lighting. Odd. Did I open stuff letter already? Yes, I did. I remember now. I was like, wait. and piano. And then we'll look at Hyoko's body. It's a control panel on the wing of the stage. It seems you can use this control panel to raise and lower the baton lighting on the ceiling. In fact, we use this to lower Ibuki's hanging body. Let's look at the lighting. The video of the music venue I saw. It had a dim candlelight ambience to it. It didn't look like this lighting was used at all. Why did they use this lighting? Was there some reason that would have convinced them to? Inconvenienced them to?
So you have appeared.
I see. So you noticed too, Fiend. Huh? Noticed? So you didn't notice. Are those lights just little glass balls? Take a good look at the baton lighting above your head. Have you not noticed that aberrant item? Look at the baton lighting. You mean that? Oh. There's something hanging off. There's something that looks like a black paper stuck to the baton lighting. So you finally noticed. But I can't really see it from here. I should lower the baton lighting one more time and...
I can see it!
There is no need.
Go by 4 dark devas of destruction!
Great. That's even better radio. Go, Mirage Golden Hawk, jump P. Now is time for you to take flight. Feast your eyes upon the brave souls of my 4 dark divas of destruction. Hamster launched himself from Gundam Sand and ran up to the baton lighting on the ceiling in the flash. Oh, I wish I could see that. Choo-choo. Shadow running around the stuck slip of paper in rapid circles. Then the paper flooded downward and was definitely caught by Gunham. Did you see that? Behold the powers of the ultimate evil eye wielder.
Wow. That is amazing. I never seen a hamster do tricks.
How pitiful.
They are my 4 dark divas of destruction. Hamsters are merely their temporary form. So what's with that paper?
Fine.
It seems to be some kind of thick paper, though it does not have any special spells described into it.
It was close.
It appears it's nothing useful. No, that's not it. Oh, that's me. Oh, that's not it. There's no doubt this is some kind of clue. I mean, the fact that it was struck in a place like that, no matter how we think about it, it's too unnatural. Scrap a piece of paper. Then where did it come from? I wish I can tell. Here? There's like a lot missing from here. Alright, let's look at Hyoko's body. Hyoko's body is suspended against a pillar on the side of the stage. She's strapped against the pillar with duct tape, and she looks like she was forced to stand upright. Damn it, who did this? According to the Monokuma file, her cause of death was a slit throat. Her neck looked like it stopped bleeding, probably because of the duct tape wrapped around it. Why is Hyoko's kimono like this? Oh, it's tied wrong. Yeah, her sash is just tied in the front. Her kimono is all disheveled. Did I say that right? Disheveled? Also, her sash is tied in the front. Did the killer do this too? That's odd. But when did the killer kill Hyoko? When I first discovered Ibuki's body, I didn't see Hyoko's body here. If that's the case, Hyoko was killed. It must have been during the time I was getting everyone before I came back here. That was barely 10 minutes. Is it really possible that the killer killed Hyoko and taped her up in such a short amount of time? Yeah, there's a lot of tape there. Even if it is possible, whoever did it would have had a narrow window of time to do so, because the killer must be someone who doesn't have an alibi during that time.
Hey!
Hey, Hajime, do you have a minute? No, you're in the way.
No.
I don't wish to be in your way at all, but there's something I really need your help with. Help?
Actually,
If you look closely, there's an unnatural shape bulging from inside Hyoko's kimono. So I was thinking, she might be hiding something. Oh, let's get one of the girls to do it. Wait, hold on. Don't tell me you want to search inside Hyoko's kimono. Huh? That's exactly it.
Why?
Well, it would have been a problem if she were alive, but she's dead now, you know. Don't mess with me. Are you saying there's no problem with that now that she's dead? Fine, if you don't want to do it, I'll just have to ask someone else.
Hey!
There we go. Akane! What's up?
Hey.
Well, there's something I want you to do for me. It looks like there's something inside Hyoko's kimono, so can you feel around for that?
What?
I don't really understand, but I just gotta check Hyoko's kimono, right?
Thanks.
Thank you, Akane. Helping each other is such a wonderful thing.
Now then.
Let's see. Akane reached through the duct tape binding Hyoko as she stuck her hand inside her kimono.
Weird.
Damn it, she's tied up so tight I can't really reach with my hand. Oh wait, hold on.
Yo.
There's something. Is this what you were looking for? Is this a key?
Perhaps.
Looks different than the keys to the cottage, so this may be the key to her motel room. The key to her motel room, huh? If her key was so deep inside her kimono that it'd be hard to remove, then it's very unlikely that the killer tampered with this evidence.
Isn't that right?
Excuse me. Because if this is a trap, they would have put something toward the front of her kimono, so we noticed it easier. Which means we can conclude that this is something Hyoko had with her all along. Should probably take a look in there.
Hey.
Also, it's not like I'm adding to that or anything, but you look like you were curious about the condition of Hyoko's body, right, Hajime? Of course, that's why I'm investigating. It's true, there are several mysteries regarding her body. Well, just hear me out for a sec. Out of all these mysteries, what I think is the strangest is
See?
the way they wrapped her body with that duct tape. It's almost like they were trying to hide a wound on Hyoko's neck, don't you think? Hide the wound on her neck. Yeah, they really tied her up there. I don't know if that's was their true intention, but I guess it's a big help for our investigation. The reason for the low volume blood is because the duct tape is acting as the compress, right? If her body was left alone after her throat was slit, the surrounding area would be a sea of blood. Sea of blood, huh? 2 dead bodies floating in a sea of blood. That's enough to make anybody faint. Alright. I think I looked at almost everything. I think there's just a sting in the back. Oh, why it's so hot. This looks like the music venue's AC unit. That's right, you might be able to adjust the hot air in the music venue with this. Alright, I should mess around with it a little, so like... It's running as a heater. Over 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I know why it's so damn hot. Better turn off the heater now. That should kill things off a little. I wonder why they have it so hot. I think that is everything, though. Yeah, alright. So we talked to them. We looked at that. Let's talk. Okay, before we go in there, let's talk to all the people over here.
Damn right.
Hey, Hajime, take a look at this. What?
Huh?
Look what's in front of the door. This is a drumstick, right? And it looks like it's been broken. What happened to it?
Like...
If something like that is in front of the door, you think it might be a really big clue? Why would this be a clue?
Hey.
Remember when we came to the music venue? If it won't open, the only thing we can do is force our way through. Oh, they used it to lock the door.
I wonder if that's gonna be possible. Of the 4 of us, 2 of us are girls, you know.
Doesn't matter if you could do it or not. We have to do it. Yes. Go. Right. The door was locked when we tried to go inside, and the 4 of us charged... Oh wait, the door was locked when we tried to go inside, and the 4 of us charged into the door. But when I examined it, I found out that this door doesn't have a lock at all. Huh?
I get it.
The door is designed to be pushed open. And this is the shape of the handle. The stick was used to bar the door there. Well, don't you think it would lock the door and keep it from opening? I mean, this drumstick was used to lock the door. The broken drumstick on the floor at the front of the door should be proof of that. Then how was the killer able to get out? I mean, the music venue doesn't even have windows. This is the only entrance. If they locked the door from inside, the killer wouldn't be able to escape from outside. Maybe the killer was still inside when we broke down the door from the music venue. They waited until we were already at the scene of the crime to come and join us. Ah, like the locked room scenario thing from the first game, where the killer would lock themselves in the room and then hide, and then when everyone comes, they'll join in the commotion and it'll look like they just got there.
I get it.
You know, don't they use tricks a lot like that a lot in mystery dramas and stuff? If that's the case, there might be evidence of that somewhere around here somewhere. Alright, I'm definitely gonna find it. I won't let the killer get away for this. The killer's still inside when we broke the door down to the music venue, huh? Like you said, that might be impossible.
I've listened to the
But-
whole story.
I heard what you two were discussing. Chiaki. That was kind of cool entrance.
Yeah?
Besides the broken drumstick, I've also discovered something interesting. What is it?
See?
Look, there's a weird glob where the right and left door touch, see? You're right, what is this? It looks too formed to think it's rubber.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't look like rubber, but Chiaki said that. Oh, as she said that, Chiaki bent down, scraped off the semi-transparent glob with her fingers. Why are you putting it in your mouth? Something edible? Like jello? It smells like workshop chemicals. Workshop. And this chewiness. I see it. This thing may be a glob now, but that doesn't mean it was a glob from the start. For instance, if it was originally a liquid that hardened into this, it might be possible to apply it directly and smoothly into the gaps of the door. What are you talking about? Just as I thought. It tastes nasty. Chucky spat out the glob of her mouth and left the area. Besides that bit of the taste, it's okay to consider this as some kind of clue, right? Alright. Hey, are you okay? Are you still not feeling well? Yeah, I don't really get it, but when I think about Nekomaru, it's like my knees start shaking.
That's weird.
There's no way. I've got that kind of weakness. It'll probably go away if I battle a strong dude, but Nekomaru's not here. Nekomaru will definitely come back. You're right.
Hajime.
This might be impudent of me to ask, but will you listen to what I have to say?
Hey,
I heard what you witnessed that you witnessed the incident from the very beginning, right? So what? Can you provide me with a summary of the incident? I need to reach the truth behind this incident for the sake of dedicating my body to an even greater hope. No.
wow.
Why? Don't make me repeat myself. No. This guy just wants to confuse us. There's no way I'm going to tell him what he wants to know.
How unfortunate.
I see. That's disappointing. Did you direct your gaze to the brave stature of my forked Dark Davis of destruction? Oh, that was all you had to say. Alright, I think that's everything in this room, pretty much. So, let's check out the staff only room. Storage says staff only. Looks like the inside of a storage room. Yeah. Oh! There's Torn right there. Why is he in here now? There's carpeting, wallpaper, and paint on the shelf. Probably used for storage decorations. Thick black paper that's folded on the lower shelf. It looks like wallpaper. It's a lot of stickers pasted all over the front side of this wallpaper. Excuse me. Edge of this wallpaper. Looks like a little torn, but what does it mean? It's the camera. Does the stack look smaller? A lot of stickers with the venue's logo placed here. It's like they made a bunch of them and had too many left over. It feels somewhat depressing. Huh, compared to last... That's what I said! Oh my god. Compared to last time, it feels like there's less stickers than before. Am I overthinking this? It's like half of them were used. Thinking about these guitars? A lot of different musical instruments lined up here. I know about guitars and drums, but there's also instruments and machines that I've never seen before. They don't look like they pertain to the case. Okay. I can see your whole body in this huge full like mirror. It's probably used for checking costumes. It'd be easy to check how you look. Alright. Nagito, did you come here to investigate the storage room too? Yeah, I just wanted to confirm what you were thinking. Is that it, or is he trying to stand guard here?
Hey,
So how about it? Did you find any clues? The tipped over stepladder on the stage, the duct tape behind binding Hyoko. That probably all came from this storage room. There might be other things for the storage room that they used for the crime. You always pretend to give me hints, but in the end, you're just going to be on the killer's side, right? Aw, I'm not siding with the killer, you know. I'm on the side of whoever acts in the name of hope. That's all there is to it. That's a special reason why this case is really special. Huh?
man.
But I can't say for certain, though. What is this guy saying? As usual, he's not making any sense.
Hajime.
By the way, Hajime, I still don't quite understand the details of what happened.
Right.
You could explain it to me in detail. I think I'd be able to give you some more useful information. Really, you might end up confusing us again. You don't want to find the truth. You just want to make us suffer.
Mean.
That's not true. I'm doing this because I believe for everyone's sake. Oh well. For the sake of everyone's hope, I'd gladly become the enemy, and I won't even mind when I die. That's the main reason why. I can't overlook this case this time. Huh? What does that mean? Regardless, I guess you're not gonna tell me, huh? Then it can't be helped. I guess I'll just rely on my gut feelings. Gut feelings?
Hey.
You should come by later. I'll go there first and wait for you. Where exactly are you talking about? Well, obviously, the movie theater. She said that. Nagisa walked out of my sight. Yeah, I kind of want to check it out, too. Because the bag came from there. Movie theater. Oh, I had the sudden interest in the movie theater. Guess that's everything important in the storage room. Guess I should go back to the music venue. Alright. Yep. Looked at everything I needed to. Alright, and yeah, with this, might be close to finish investigating the music venue, but I still need to talk to Mikon. I need to make sure I get those Ops House series cards. Yeah. Nice. How about it, Mikon? Have you found out anything by now?
To tell you the truth, it's been very inconclusive. But it's not my fault. This music venue is just too hot. Because of the heat, I can't estimate the time of death.
Because of the heat, is that possible?
If the body is overexposed to heat or cold, you won't be able to determine a precise time of death.
I see. That might have been the color's gold. Yeah, you can't tell how warm they are. They covered up their time of death by using the heater to make the inside of the music venue hot. But that's weird.
Even if the heat is the killer's doing, is there any reason for them to cover up the time of death?
I agree. As long as I saw it, it should be clear what order the murders occurred. First was Ibuki, then Hyoko.
As long as this is an imitation murder, there shouldn't be any mistake.
I think Hyoko died first. Ibuki didn't die immediately yet, and she went to saw what she was doing, saw what was going on, tried to save her, got caught in the act, stabbed, and she died instantly from that. But Ibuki was still choking. And then she died after that, I think. There shouldn't...
And as long as this is an imitation murder, there shouldn't be any mistakes in the order of the murders.
Huh, imitation murder.
You don't know, Hajime. I thought everyone already knew.
See?
It's a murder where the killer uses a creative work, like a song or film, as an outline for their killings. It's so common in detective novels, mangas, and video games that you start to get annoyed by it.
How would an imitation murder be related to this murder?
Well, based on the killing order and the way they were killed, it's clearly an imitation of that movie.
That movie?
Good instincts.
Oh, was it the movie that Monokuma made us watch? The assumption is an imitation murder is the reason why the killer killed two people. The goal was to achieve was an imitation killer. Even so, why did they feel the need to do something like that?
Have a minute.
Excuse me. If this was really an imitation of that movie, then is it possible that one more person might have been killed?
This, too, must be the will of causality.
It's certainly conceivable if the killer wishes to complete the imitation. Hold on, what are you all talking about? An imitation murder? One more person might have been killed? Are you guys worried that there's gonna be another victim? Then no worries. Things would get out of hand too fast if a bunch of people could be killed at once. Right, 2 murders at once. I'm a real cautious fellow, so I prepared a perfect countermeasure. Ahem. On this killing school trip, the same Blackened can only kill a maximum of 2 people.
You mean you've added another rule?
Well, if killing everyone at once is okay, the Blackened would be able to secure an easy victory, right? This new rule will prevent that. Make sure you slam it into your tiny brains.
If it is a Mexican of 2 people, then there will not be any more killings. Since you're here anyway, can I ask you one more thing? You know, I just want to confirm one of the class trial rules.
I see, as expected of you. You're very strict about games.
I don't want to consider this possibility at all. I don't even want to think someone would do this. If 2 cases occur at once, what happens? Yeah, this is the question I had last time. What happens if there are 2 killers? So, like I said, I'm talking about the possibility that Ibuki and Hyoko were killed by 2 different people. That would mean that 2 killers exist at the same time, but we can only vote for one person, right?
I am concerned.
If we can only choose one based on a majority vote, the other person could certainly achieve victory.
Yeah, you're right.
So what happens in that case? What about a case where there's 3 incidents instead of 2? Or 4 incidents overlap on each other?
Silence.
Yeah, I had this question last time. For the case with Celeste and everything. I was like, what if it's 2 different murders that happened at different times and they didn't realize that they were gonna kill someone at the same time? So what would happen then? Shut up! It's okay, I'll make sure something like that never happens.
Hey. Meaning 2 killers can't exist at the same time. So it's safe to say that applies to this case too, right?
Ugh. Alright, fine. That's right. There's always 1 killer at any given time. And if they have accomplices, I'd have you figure out who the mastermind is. Man, I ended up giving you a huge hint. She made me say it. Gamer brains are not to be underestimated. I should just shut up and go back to my the gamer man. Or big brain, I see. Oh, what am I saying? I see, so there's no possibility for 2 killers to exist at the same time. With this, I guess that narrows things down a little.
Yep. That makes things a little easier.
Plus, if the same killer can kill a maximum of 2 people,
Face your powerlessness.
that means a 3rd victim would be impossible. Imitation murder breakthrough. You guys keep saying that, and it sounds so strange to me. What do you guys mean by imitation?
Could it be? You haven't seen it.
Seen it? Seriously, seen what?
So, like I said, that movie.
Oh my.
When we first explored this island, Monokuma was passing out invitation tickets. The imitation is...
Good instincts.
Of course. It is the imitation of that movie.
Well, based on the murders this time, it closely resembles that movie, as if they were copying it.
As if they copied the movie. See, Nagito mentioned something about that. Right.
I see, so you haven't seen it. Still, it's not too late, I think. It's probably a good idea if you watch that movie before the class trial starts.
Looks like I need to do that.
Then I should get going too. There are other places I want to investigate. Where do you intend to go next, Chiaki? Probably the hospital for sure. The first victim, Ibuki, was there. I don't know what was going on at the hospital in the first place.
You're right.
Thanks to despair disease, we could not go there for some time.
She's right. It might be good for me to investigate the hospital too. Might be some clues related to Ibuki's stuff. Clues related to Yoko's stuff. I should try going over to the motel. There's still a lot of things I can do before the class trial. I'll definitely give it my all until the end. Alright. Let's get out of here for now. Alright. Let's go to motel first. Just remembered, I never went inside any of the rooms in the motel. Plus, I don't even know where Hyoko's room is. Might be faster to just ask someone. Well, Ganon would know.
So you have appeared.
You're here, right? Come on out. Huh? Are you talking to me? I can see you. Did you really think you could hide your presence like that? I'm trying to hide in the first place. Hey, which room was Hyoko staying in?
Listen well.
Open the door to the center room. However, are you prepared? Make sure you pray to whatever god you hold dear. And you might want to bring an extra pair of underwear. I wonder, how does this guy talk to his parents and teachers? Center room. Looks like it's locked, but the key was inside her kimono. Maybe if I use this. It opened, just as I thought. This key was Hyoko's room key. Alright, I should go inside. Okay, Hyoko was staying here. She only stayed here a few nights, so it doesn't really feel like her room, but I feel a little conflicted.
Oh my.
Huh, did the door open? Yeah, Hyoko put the key in her kimono, so I used that to open it. I see. What, did something happen? No, it's just... I am starting to believe it might be my fault. Her fault? What does that mean? The moment Hyoko came to this motel, she completely shut herself in this room. She was afraid of the despair disease, so she was cautious of you guys too, right? Her fear of the disease was not the only reason she locked herself in the room. She had another reason. Because that disease was... What other reason would make her lock herself in her room? Her kimono. Her kimono? Yesterday, I wanted to go talk to her. Since she had been in her room for some time, I told her it might be good for her to go outside for a bit. She kept the door to her room locked, but by coincidence, it was not locked at that time. Then I saw it. Oh, she was having trouble tying her kimono. Hyoko was crying and struggling with her kimono sash. She did not want to smell bad, so she took a shower, but she could not tie her sash anymore. My hero is no longer with us, so I believe she was having trouble with it. She didn't leave her room because she couldn't tie her kimono, huh?
You are right.
The others might have thought it was just a silly sash, but it must have been a serious issue for her. Hyoko told me that she learned how to tie her sash from my hero. The Mahiro kindly taught her the basics. That's why she wanted to be able to tie her sash on her own.
Perhaps.
She probably could not forgive herself for not being able to do it, especially since my hero taught her. I could not really understand her feelings, which is why I said what I did. What did you say?
Hyoko, by chance, are you having trouble wearing your kimono?
Stupid! What are you saying? Of course I can do it! Because Mahiru taught me. That's why I can do it on my own.
If that is the case, how about you do it someplace where there is a mirror?
Oh. That's how she went to the music venue.
Do you remember the full-length mirror in the storage room at the music venue? If you do it while standing in front of a large mirror, I am confident you will be successful. Also, shutting yourself in your room like this may be bad for your health.
And that was when she kicked me out.
It cannot be.
Could it be Hyoko remembered that? Are you saying she went to the music venue to wear a kimono? I can see that happening. Hyoko locked her room and made sure she put the room key inside her kimono. God, my brain. I can't imagine that. She was abducted by someone. If so, that's weird. Hey,
Did you tell anyone about that incident? About that before the incident? Or was someone listening in your conversation? I never told this to anyone, and I do not believe anyone was listening in our conversation. Nobody knew. If that's the case, how did the killer know Hyoko was going to the music venue? I don't think he knew. Something's wrong. Hyoko was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what I think. Alright, we got a lot of things to look at. Let's look at the bed, I guess. Bed isn't messed up. It doesn't look like she was abducted in her sleep. There's a mirror, but it's too small and rusty. Hey, there's a Monokuma in there. There's no way anyone can use this. I don't see anything else that looks suspicious. There's no sign that someone made a mess of her room, and I don't think she was forcibly abducted. I feel like I couldn't really find any important clue. Oh well. Wait! Let's go.
No.
So sneaky. Oh, 33? Oh wait, how's my pet doing? I haven't checked on him. Oh. I should give him something. Have some... Have this. Nice. Well, I guess that's it in here. Huh! Well, maybe I have to talk to him, because I haven't talked to him yet.
Damn right.
Hey Hajime, can you explain it to me again? What happened when you first discovered Ibuki's body? It was the same time when I found it with you guys. Ibuki's body was taken from the baton lighting. However, there was no body discovery announcement made. That's why I went to get you guys. I went with Chiaki at this motel. I met up with Chiaki at this motel, and when we were about to go back to the music venue, he met up with Mikan and me. And when we went back to the music venue, the entrance door wouldn't open for some reason.
I see.
So we had no choice but to break the door down, and discovered Hyoko's body was suddenly there too. Yeah, that's what happened.
Hey.
This is the most important part. When you arrived at the motel, who else saw you besides Chiaki? As I recall... Didn't you hear? A body... Did you hear me? A body was on. I think Gunham was there too, right? Spread lies, like not good. Yeah. Besides Chiaki, I also saw Gunham and Monomi.
I see.
So Kazuichi and Sonia didn't appear, huh? Do you think those two are suspicious? Well, Hyoko was killed between the time you saw Ibuki's body and when we broke down the door, right? So obviously those two are the most suspicious since they weren't with us. That might be it, but... While you were at it, let me tell you my alibi too. When the morning Monokuma announcer woke me up, I went straight to the hospital. Saw Mikan panicking in front of the hospital. I asked her what was going on. She said Ibuki had disappeared. So you guys split up and looked for Ibuki, huh?
Well, yeah.
While we were circling the island, we came to the motel and saw you guys there. Did you see anyone else while you circled the island? No, we went to the movie theater and that street full of machines to look for Ibuki, but we didn't see anyone. Are you implying I don't have an alibi because I didn't run into anyone? It's unreasonable for you to doubt me. The time that Mikan and I were on our own looking for Ibuki wasn't very long. In that short time, there's no way I could have killed Hyoko and wrapped her around the pillar with duct tape. It's true, I feel like there wasn't enough time to do that after I left the music venue. But the fact Hyoko was killed and we discovered her body. What, you still doubt me?
Jeez.
Well, I'm used to it. It's true I've done things that I deserve to be doubted for. So don't worry, even if you doubt me, I don't plan on dismembering you or encasing you in concrete. I'd want to know that in advance, what I have to do to end up like that. Alright. Now I can leave. I just had to talk to him. Okay. Let's go to the movie theater, I think.
Its next place of interest.
Hello there.
What a polite hello. Hello there. Well, hello there, Hajime. I knew you'd come here. That means you noticed it too, right? The case this time is an imitation case in which the killer used that movie as their theme. I wouldn't know. I haven't watched that movie yet.
See.
Then you really should watch the movie first.
Hey,
Manager, a customer's here.
did you call me?
Yes? Did you call? Oh, maybe I said that. Huh? Hajime's the customer. Do you have a problem with that?
What are you gonna do?
And you said you didn't want to watch it, but I knew you wanted to see it all along. If that's what Sundry Hajime... Sundry... I forgot... Sundari? I forgot how to pronounce it. Hajime looks like, then you're a really tough guy. You're so devoted to be Sundari, you even bought the Monokuma sticker for $1.5 million. You paid $1.5 million for a sticker? It's nothing.
Listen up.
In exchange for not watching the movie, Hajime paid $1.5 million for a Monokuma sticker. Come on, since we're talking about it anyway, why don't you show it to Akito? Stop it. My resistance in Maine, and Monokuma reached in my pocket and took the sticker. See, it's this one. I'm sorry, I was born stupid.
That's
You bought this for $1.5 million? In the end, he's still gonna watch the movie. Who cares about that anymore? Just hurry up and give me an invitation ticket.
here.
Okay, here you go. I already said so on the invitation ticket, but it's only effective today at this time. By the way, I can only give you one ticket per person. You only have one touch to watch it for free. I already stamped today's date onto the ticket, so you won't be able to cheat. Don't worry, I only plan to watch it once.
Forward to it, okay?
Then I'll go prepare the projection reel. Please wait a bit, okay?
Hey,
Hey, Hajime, about that invitation ticket, I strongly recommend you keep that safe. Huh? Why? No reason. Just think of it as a protective charm. So I should wait until Monokuma finishes preparations. That reminds me, that item should be on top of the shelf counter. This one looks like a tote bag, right? I already figured that out. The tote bag is gone, that means...
what's this?
Well there, were you interested in buying that tote bag?
Dad,
That's just too bad, it's already sold out. Who'd you sell it to?
you're so stupid.
Stupid, there's no way I'd fall for that. There's no way I'd say something that would reveal who the killer is. So the killer bought it. I remember you said there was only one because it was a limited item, right? It's not limited to one. It's more like it's limited to one person. What's the difference? When you buy one bag, you get another one free. It's a common practice to bait customers for bonus prizes. For some reason, hearing you say that pisses me off.
Well now,
Now then, I should forget that I carelessly made a slip of tongue.
now then.
Looks like the preparations are complete, so please enter the theater right away.
Can't wait, I can't wait.
Poo-hoo-hoo, this is exciting. Alright, let's go watch this thing. I apologize for keeping you waiting. World famous director Monokuma presents a stunning masterpiece that reduced American audiences to tears. The Wizard of Monami 2.5D will be screening shortly. The title alone, I have a bad feeling about this 2.5D. That sounds so half-assed.
Then, please relax and enjoy the film.
Alright, I will.
Monokuma was born in a remote village full of old people because the death rates outpaced the birth rates. One day, Monokuma was swept up by a tornado created by a helicopter gunship during a routine military exercise, and was whisked away to Monami's country. Monokuma wanted to return to his homeland so he could go back to pestering the old people for change. So he began his journey to see the wizard Monami, who was rumored to grant any wish one desires. Along the way, he met a very loyal group of friends.
This narrator.
Monokuma met a Monami scarecrow who was missing a brain. When he recommended that she commit suicide,
Oh. This is like freaking. What the heck? What is that movie called? My brain went blind. Like blank, not
the
blind.
Monami scarecrow hanged herself and died. He also met a Monami lion who was missing her courage, so he pumped her full of arrows.
Wizard of Oz! Oh my god. I figured it out.
He also met a Monami tin man who was missing a heart, so Monokuma sliced her into lumps of iron. After a lot of other stuff happened, Monokuma finally reached the wizard Monami, the great and powerful. Eventually, one thing led to another, and he started beating the crap out of Monami. And in the end, he somehow usurped the kingdom from her. With this, Monokuma enslaved the old people, took their pensions, and lived the rest of his days in luxury. And he lived happily ever after. The end.
Wow, no wonder Nagitchip said this was a horrible movie.
Man, movies are the best. That drama was so moving that I needed 2 boxes of tissues, one for each head.
So,
Now then, let's meet again at the class trial.
bye.
Too disgusted to even let out a sigh right now. That's all I can say to describe the situation. How was it? Actually, I don't even have to ask. I totally expected your reaction. It was honestly the worst movie I've ever seen. Is it really okay to call that a movie? Thanks to that motive, now you know, right? Yeah. Just like you said, the characters who were killed in the movie matched the victims in this case. Ibuki's death was by hanging matched the Scarecrow's death in the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko's suspended body matches the lion's death too. It would have been a complete imitation if the killer did kill 3 people, but it seems that wasn't possible. Perhaps the killer is upset about that right now, or the killer's main goal was just an imitation murder. They should be upset about it, but I'm not sure if that's even true. Alright. Anything in here? Good shot. Things like popcorn sandwiches, okay? Alright. Oh, alright. I think that's it. Yep, it's letting me leave, so that's it. Time for the hospital. Alright. Okay, look at this. Surveillance camera unit. It's destroyed. It's possible to broadcast with this.
Hajime.
Hey Hajime, there's something I want to ask you. You first discovered Ibuki's body at the music venue,
Excuse me.
right? But why did you go to the music venue? You had a reason for that, right? Did you see something with this camera?
That's right.
Oh, I wanted to ask you that too. It'd be different if the surveillance camera unit could record, but it's only good for household functions.
Hey.
Tell me, Hajime. Yeah, that's exactly it. I saw a strange video in the surveillance camera unit. It showed the music venue stage. There's a black curtain hanging there like there is now. The whole display was pretty dark because they were just using candlelight. There was a rope hanging from the ceiling, and beneath that there was a stepladder on the floor. And right away, A person wearing a hospital gown and hemp bag on their head appeared. I didn't know who it was because her face was covered, but now I know that must have been Ibuki. She walked straight to the stepladder, and without any hesitation. She climbed that stepladder out of her own free will, and then she grabbed that rope, and that's all I saw. The candlelight light being used must have stuffed out or something because the screen went dark all of a sudden, and it wasn't displaying anything anymore.
Man.
Well, if the candlelight goes out, obviously nothing would show up. Modern surveillance cameras have infrared functions, so things can show up even in the dark. But the one I got from the machine alley was a really old model. Hold on.
Well,
At the time, you said you didn't know the person wearing the hemp bag was Ibuki, right? Right. You didn't know it was her, but you saw that she was trying to hang herself. So you rushed over to the music venue to try to stop her. But I didn't make it in time. Still, if she climbed the stepladder on her own, does that mean she committed suicide? Wouldn't that mean she's her own killer? I don't think so. Ibuki committed suicide. What do you think, Chiaki? There's no doubt Ibuki climbed that stepladder on her own, right? Yeah, there's no doubt. If so...
You.
Hey, don't think for so long. If you don't know, just be honest about it. Of course she doesn't. There's no way we'd be able to figure it out that easily. Oh yeah, I need to investigate the conference room on the second floor. I'm heading over there. What the heck? She ran all the way all of a sudden. She said the conference room, but why would she mention the conference room all of a sudden? Also, I must be overthinking it, but she seemed a little upset. Anything to add? Hey, you prepared that surveillance camera unit, right? Yeah, so I didn't make any weird modifications or anything. It's not like I'm suspicious or anything. Did you get this from that shady-looking alley where all those machines were lined up?
Right.
Yeah, I just tweaked it a little. Then, if there are other surveillance camera units, would it be possible to transmit a signal to the hospital from those cameras too?
Man.
No, that's impossible. Originally, surveillance cameras and surveillance monitors are only used as part of the same unit. The video that filmed with the hospital camera can only be viewed on the hospital monitor. The video that was filmed with the music venue camera can only be seen on the music venue monitor.
Hey.
But if I left it like that, we wouldn't have been able to communicate, so I decided to swap the cameras. So that's how you guys were able to view the hospital footage from the music venue and vice versa. However, each surveillance camera unit manages its broadcast based on a specific number, so even if you bring the same model camera or monitor, you won't be able to interfere with the signal. Meaning, even if another surveillance camera exists, it'd be impossible to broadcast with it. However, I did just swap the cameras, modified them, and increased their wireless range. If I hadn't done that, we wouldn't have been able to use it. You're right, you did work on that. Alright, good to know. Oh! Wait! What's she doing here?
Now then.
Whew, I'm finally getting back to my normal self. Hajime, help me out with my recovery. You can touch my boobs if you win. No thanks. She has bare butt when she was quiet. It'd be so much better if she was still feeling the after effects. She beat me up if I said that out loud. Anyway, why are you here?
Hey.
Well, I never been sick or hurt before, so I had no idea, but hospital gowns are pretty comfy. I was thinking I might as well keep wearing one. Don't tell me you plan on wearing hospital gowns from now on. That's the idea, but it looks like they're out of stock. Looks like there was one gown for each patient's room, so I thought there'd be more in the empty rooms. There aren't any gowns. Yep, that's right. Ibuki died wearing one, so the only one is left. The only one left is the one Nagito was wearing. If I had no choice, then I should have just used Nagito's. It's a unisex size, so I'd probably fit in it. Hold on, what happened to the gown you were wearing? Are you saying I should wear the one I already wore? That's gross, my game. I'm paranoid I'm going to save. Alright. Wearing clothes someone else was wearing is even grosser. No time to dilly-dally. I totally left Mikan back at the music venue. Crap, I gotta go. Well, it's okay since I already investigated the music video, but leaving her on guard today was a bad idea. Yeah, I was like, why the heck is she here? Was this Ibuki's room? Shouldn't be anybody inside. I should look somewhere else. Oh. I guess I don't have to look in these rooms. It was up here, right? Whoa! That was weird. Conference room. That's what Chiaki said. I can't see anything. Where's the switch?
Hey.
Don't turn it on. Huh? Chiaki, are you there? If you turn on the light, it's gonna be fully exposed. It'd be embarrassing. What's fully exposed? Hajime, if you poke out your eyes, you could turn on the light. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna poke them out? I'm not gonna poke out my eyes.
Aww.
Bummer. Troll fail. No sooner did she finish saying that, I heard the dry sound of currents being drawn. There's a flash of intense light that stung my eyes a little. I squinted my eyes until they started adjusting to the light. This is where the black curtain came from. I saw Chiaki had finished opening the curtain that was covering the window.
Hey, hey.
Were you surprised? Surprised, I don't get it.
Well,
I got it. Got what?
see?
The curtains on this conference room were designed to completely block out lights. There's a projector in here, so they were probably careful about light shining through.
See?
See? A black curtain that blocks light. And it's also long enough to reach the floor. It's perfect. A black light blocking curtains. That's why it's so dark. So, is something wrong with it? I'm still in the middle of investigating, so it's a secret. Yep, she says that. But still, what was all that about? That bit about being embarrassed if I look again and troll fail? I just wanted to mess with you. Yep, she's definitely upset. Why is she acting so childish? I guess I'm done with investigating the hospital. I should move on to a different place. That's it. I think Castro next stream.
Hello! How's everybody doing? It's me, Monokuma! Yay! Awesome! The class trial's gonna start, you know. So, make sure you guys come to Monokuma Rock ASAP! I'll see you soon!
It's already time. So this again. You need to go back to that place again. But now's not the time to be a coward. The reason Ibuki and Hyoko became victims in order to find the truth. The only thing I can do is go. I have a lot to say. I'm gonna stop here. Normally I'll walk over there, but it's okay, I'll stop here. Save. Yes. And I'll double check. Nice. Perfect save. It is now midnight. That's great, as you can tell.
Danganronpa.
Alright. Time to relieve myself. Alright. Nekomara hasn't been here, so he's not part of this, unless for some reason he joins the class trial. So it's definitely, it can't be Nekomara because he's being hospitalized, I guess. I don't know where though. Alright. And then, so we didn't know where Kazuichi or Sonia were at the time either, when all that commotion was going on. Who else? I think that's it. It seemed like the black curtain came from the hospital, so I think I had someone who was in the hospital. I don't know who. I was not expecting another double murder. What the heck? I don't think it's like what happened with Celeste at all. I think Hyoko was at the wrong place at the wrong time. She saw that Ibuki was being hung, and Ibuki was probably still alive. So she tried to help her. The murderer who was trying to kill Ibuki saw her and tried to put her stop to it. And then that's when
they sliced their throat, and she was the one who technically died first. That would be my theory. And then she got hung on that wall, and then Ibuki eventually choked to death by the rope. I'm genuinely surprised. No idea who was gonna die next, and I'm surprised that they died. That was crazy. A crazy case. So yeah, Hyoko was there. She probably heard the commotion or something when she was trying to change, or trying to put her sash on. And that's when she walked out and saw Ibuki. And I don't think Ibuki actually hung herself. I think she was about to, and then she was stopped by Hyoko. And I think Ibuki saw her get stabbed, and then I think the killer must have just finished it off with Ibuki by getting her on that rope. Or something. I don't know. Something's odd. I'm not sure. I guess the movie is the inspiration for it. Definitely. But I wonder why. Because Hyoko wasn't sick. Ibuki was. So why was she killed? Well, I guess because she saw it. But then why was... I don't know. Then Ibuki was targeted. Weird. I have no idea who would have done it. Unless somehow Nekomaru was around for some reason. I have no idea. And we just don't know. We don't really have an alibi for Kazuichi and Sonya. So we're gonna find out next time. That will be it. I'm very interested. This is an interesting one. I was not expecting a double murder. I'm glad they freaking went over the whole what happens if there are two different murders that happen simultaneously at the same time. Because that was a question I had in the first game with Celeste's case. It was like, what if these were two different murderers who both killed at the same time, had nothing to do with each other. So I'm glad that was specified now. Because that was my like my little misconception. My little gamer misconception. Yeah, I'm excited for the class trial. This one's interesting. We'll see what happens next. That'll be it.